Today we're back in the garage working on the E46, and there are a few projects to get taken care of today, all but random. But the first one we're going to do is the transmission fluid. So back at the beginning of the winter, I put in some liquid moly ATF. The idea being that in the colder temperatures, this will help it shift a little bit smoother. But now that it's getting warmer outside, I've got the windows down, I'm driving, I can hear a bit of whine in first and second gear. So today I'm going to put in their Top Tech MTF 5200 manual transmission fluid to see if that quiets it down. And I'm hopeful because even on their metrics on the back here, under noise reduction, the ATF is rated right in the middle, and on the MTF, for the same thing, it's a little bit higher. So we'll see if that takes care of the gear whine and hopefully quiet things down. But if you're wondering why I took the wheels off for this job, there are two reasons. So the first is safety. So I've got the whole car up on jack stands. I have the rear resting on the jack. It's not actually loaded, it's just sitting underneath it. But anytime I'm underneath the car, whether it's just the front or the rear, I like to take the wheels off and put them underneath it. So if for some reason a jack stand fails, the car is going to fall on the wheel instead of just hitting the ground directly. The other reason is that these numbers don't match between the front and the rear. So right now, this front tire or front wheel that I took off is a 225. The rear is a 205. So it's a little backwards. So I bought the car and it came with these wheels already on it. I think they're OE BMW wheels from a different model, but I didn't realize that they were actually staggered. So when I finally did check, turns out they are, and I need to put these wider wheels in the back, and the tires that were in the back need to come up front.
We're just about ready to drain, but here's a little tip before you get started. You've got your drain plug here and the fill plug on the side. I always recommend removing the fill plug first, because if you start here and you drain it, if for some reason you then can't get the fill plug back out, then you're stuck. There's no way to get fluid in the transmission and seal it. It's just going to be leaking all over the place. And then if you need to take it somewhere, you'll have to get it towed. So always start here with the fill plug. Make sure you can actually fill the thing back up, and then move on to the drain plug. I took it for a quick drive earlier. It's not hot, but I just wanted it warm so it flows a little easier, and as much fluid I can get will come out. Looks like all the fluid's drained out. So I'm going to put the fill plug back in before we start to put the fluid back in. And both of these, the drain and fill plugs, are torqued to 50 Newton meters. So pop this in and get it torqued down. One of the cool things about the liquid moly stuff is that there's a spout built into the bottle already. So it makes it really easy just to pop this in place. And then we should just be able to squeeze that fluid directly into the fill hole. And to fill it, we just fill it until fluid starts to drain out of the hole again. And it should take, for the 5-speed manual transmission, it should be about 1.2 liters. Bottle number 2. And there we go. Fluid's starting to drain back out, so we have filled it up all the way. I'm making a mess of getting all over my hands, but get that out of the way and then pop that drain plug, or excuse me, the fill plug back in. Well, that is it for the actual draining and filling of the transmission. So both of these are torqued back down, old fluids out, new fluids in. So now back to the annoying part of getting it off the jack stands and back on the ground.
We're now sitting inside the car. If you've noticed, I've done a bit of a wardrobe change, and that's because I've already gotten the car on the ground. I took it for a test drive. I only went about 4 miles, but things are feeling better. I had the windows down. I couldn't hear the whining as much anymore. Sounds like it's still there a little bit, but again, it was only 4 miles. So once I get some more time in it, we'll see if that fluid change helped with the sound. Otherwise, shifting feels great. So now that that's done, we're on to the next thing, and that's going to be cleaning or replacing these A-pillars. So if you take a look, this one is completely gone. So the previous owner peeled the coating or the fabric that was on it already. And on this side, it just looks horrific. So I was able to get some from a part out, some that were in much better condition. So we're going to pop these out and put the new ones in. I'm not too worried about keeping these nice, so I'm just going to pop them out. Ooh, that came out real easy. And you can see that's nice and broken. And then we've got some Torx heads back here. There are 3 of them. And we can pull this panel off. Get a nice fresher one in there. Let's see if any more plastic breaks getting this one out. That did sound great. Oh, nor did that. Oh, there's a tab on the end of this that sits inside a little slot. So let's see if this will come out without breaking in half. Not that I'm too worried about it because it's going in the trash, but I don't want it falling in the dashboard. Well, bad news. It's broken. And now I'm only counting on that fiber to get it out. So I'm gonna have to get some pliers to give it a little help. And we'll get this whole crap out of here. Good news, I didn't actually need pliers, but look at this. That is supposed to be some, I don't know. Anyways, that tab is what goes in there. That's what broke, and it was barely hanging on by a thread, literally. So glad that's out of here. Let's see how much plastic's gonna break on this side. So far, more. Oof. This one doesn't sound any better. It might actually be worse. Oh my gosh, there's so many little pieces breaking off. This is horrible. Let's just tear that free. Oh, let go. There we go. Oh, yeah, this plastic. Look at that. So brittle, so horrible. This stuff is trash. Before those new parts go in, I'm going to do some cleaning. Look at the difference between these. Here's the old one. Yellow plastic, faded trim. Here's the new used one. Look at that color difference. Here they go. Time to pop them in. I just need to get this tab down in there, and then it should fit right up. So rather than boring you with 15 minutes of me threading in 6 screws, I went ahead and just finished the install on these, and look at the difference it makes. That is so much better. And then this side, remember how it was falling apart? It was wrinkly. Nice and fresh. And now every time I look out my front window, I won't see these awful wrinkly or missing or faded A-pillar trims. That wraps up the main project for the weekend. So I'm just about out of here. Last thing I'm going to do is throw in some new windshield wipers, and then I need to spend some time cleaning up the mess I have made. Hopefully this doesn't take too long, and then we're done. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.